Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of hardcore Minecraft. We're here with the family, but it's a new update. It's a brand new day, a brand new world. We need a brand new bout of inventory space. We're gonna need some carrots, because cold pig and warm pig are now among us, and we're gonna need to deal with that reality. Alright, so let's just get some space. I got my ender chest, and that means I have access to the other shulkers, because wildflowers are in the game now, so we are likely going to go get them. So, I have never played Minecraft during an update that I would consider this major, but I would imagine that it doesn't update the chunks for some things, but it might for others, right? Like, we might see cold pigs spawn on the mountain, maybe, but I don't think we're gonna see, wildflowers on the ground of a place we'd already been. And that means, of course, we shall have to range far. Fortunately, we can fly. Unfortunately, oh no! Bella. We're gonna need to get her home first. And that's the problem. I'm sure she'll be running up here in no time. There we go. You sit down, mischievous cat. Alright, boss. See you in a bit. You stay home, Garuda. Alright. That golem is doing such a good job. Just absolutely elite. Alright, like, there's some random trash in here, but then there's also more random trash in here. Like, why? How many diamonds do I think I need? Theoretically, I could need another shield. Theoretically. Yeah, whatever. We're just gonna put it in this box and forget about it for a little while. Because this is what it's responsible for. No, not that bundle. Obviously, we couldn't deal without that bundle. Alright, well, I sure feel better about our inventory now. Why would we put the wheat seeds there? Let's put them somewhere smart, like in the ender chest. That way, we'll have them with us, if we need them. Ridiculous behavior. Hey, Renee. But... Alright, Elytra mending. Yeah, we should mend up just a bit before we go. You say you barely got off Minecraft, you spawned a lot of chickens. Did you have like an automated spawner, or what was your method? Lots of feeding chickens seeds, or did you do a little redstone thing? Did you throw a bunch of eggs at a wall? I did that before. Man, I really gotta plant more wheat here, huh? Good thing I put all my seeds up. Ridiculous. Alright, well, we're just going to feed some of these. Alright, good enough. Elytra is sort of good now. Alright, I think if we just go in this direction for like a couple thousand, we should be fine. And of course, now it'll be a nice boring excursion above the clouds for a little while, as we've been many places in this game. It's should have waited for daytime for cinematic effect. But we're gonna have to go a bunch of places we haven't been before, and I feel like we've been all of these places. But you know, if we see a birch forest with wildflowers, we'll know that we've gone far enough. Or indeed, if we see firefly bushes. Ever heard about the happy ghast? I know that there is a ghast. I don't know about one being happy. I saw a picture of one. He looked so adorable. I already know what I want to call him. I want to get a ghast, and he'll be my friend. And we'll call him Cornelius Vandergast, and that'll be like a very silly but fun name. And I saw a picture of him with little goggles on, and it was just so adorable. I gotta get one. Alright, here we are a couple of thousand out. But, you know, there's, I spent a lot of time on this world, right? So I don't remember where I've been. I know places that I definitely have been. So I want to go, you know, I don't want to go, you know, in the direction of the Great Canal, for example. Although I guess I could take the Nether Highway out there to the end. But, you know, this is just as good. This is a place I've never been before. I think you can sort of tell that by the way that the blocks load in. Because it looks like much more blocky. That sounds dumb. Normally, as I go across the map, the chunks load in much quicker if I've been there before than this. So whenever it looks like my computer is like struggling a little bit to load everything in, that's how I know that I've been somewhere new. Unless I'm wrong. I think... Yes! Haha! Firefly bushes! Oh, this is wonderful. Alright, let's just get dressed up real quick. And, oh yeah, I'm gonna need to get my bow and arrow out. There's a ton of creepers here. Fortunately, I've never learned how to fight them. Wow, just so many creepers here. Alright, there we go. Alright, there's going to be a healthy bit of combat here on this island first, and then we're going to see the fireflies. It's going to be an all-out brawl. There's like 100 mobs here, it seems like. There's not. It's probably more like 20, but it's a bunch. Fortunately, I am a professional. You'll never take me alive. Anyway, we're gonna look at that firefly bush. I swear. I just, you know, I gotta win this fight first. Haha! Destroyed by his own arrogance. I hope one day to be destroyed by my own arrogance. It sounds like a great way to go. I mean, if you're me. Hey, particles from trees. That is active anywhere, including already loaded places, which does make a lot of sense. I know that because I have planted wheat in this update, but if y'all are familiar with the wheat field, you will know that it exists in a different dimension than this, so I wasn't sure how much applied. You say it's been raining all day. It has been quite toasty outside here today. But I spent most of it inside, watching video essays and and playing Stardew Valley in very repetitive ways. It was a great time. I played a little bit of Celeste earlier, which was wonderful, but I knew I wanted to get in here on this update. We had to, you know, there's finally a bunch of new stuff that simply must be added to the village. And I should probably do a better job on the village, come to that. Yeah, do I come in the rain? That's good for you, you know, walking in the rain makes you strong. That's what I was always told. Alright, where are those firefly bushes? Well, not down there. Okay, let's not fall there. You know, let's not walk, like, anywhere around here. Okay, that... Enderman whoops wide into the rain. I bet he feels like a big old dummy. I bet he feels like a big old long-legged dummy. I bet he's like, why am I whooping around so hard? Oh, why did I have to leave home? Well, never should have come here, Enderman. Get what you pay for. I've been shot. Apparently, he thinks that I shouldn't tease the Enderman, but look. Once, a long time ago, an Enderman killed me. And I've resented them ever since. Alright, let's put on our little wings again. It's like, so the firefly bushes were here somewhere. I know, I saw them, but where were they? I got in such a fight and got disoriented. Hey, Sid. I'm doing just fine. Ah, here they are. Oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. Look at them. Bask. Hey, Liam. Ah, this is truly lovely. Ah, my heart. This is nice. So story time. You know, I grew up out in the country, right? Y'all know that. Like how I usually say it is, there are no houses between my house and the bayou, but there were a lot of fireflies. They like swamps and stuff, and that's basically where we lived. So, you know, that was good stuff. Good firefly territory. Good mosquito territory. We're down to what, like 5.5 hearts. All right, let's actually dispatch this little dude. Quit dancing. There we go. We will fight in the warm embrace of the fireflies. I'm almost dead. Nah, we'll be fine. Oh, it's because I was like, why am I taking such hits? The elytra does not have, you know, the the difference there. All right, so yeah, there were fireflies around, and there's this very specific time of night when the fireflies are out and the mosquitoes aren't out yet, and which is observed not just where I grew up. It shows up in Dante in Inferno. I can't quote it at you. I wish I could. I don't know it off the top of my head, but he talks about, like, he compares the sight looking down at these flames as the sight that a peasant has whenever he looks down at a valley in that moment where all the fireflies are there, but the mosquitoes aren't out yet. And then he goes into, you know, more Inferno type stuff with you know, the bad people that are there and the things that they did. But I would think about that a lot, you know, just walking through the woods of my house, or, you know, like along the borders to go bring a goat to go get milked or whatever, which would often be just around that hour of the night. And anyway, I like fireflies. They're nice. There are a lot of things about growing up that weren't nice, but the fireflies were very nice. And so we just need to figure out how to remove them from their natural habitat here so that we can take them to where we live. I should have brought some bone meal. Fortunately, I have acquired some bones. So, how do these things work? F3. And indeed, Sid. It is a shame that they both like to inhabit the same areas. Also, a shame that efforts to eradicate mosquitoes often hit them. All right. Firefly bush, replaceable by mushrooms, replaceable by trees. Can I mine it normally? Okay, so you can just mine one, like, with a pickaxe. Can I generate one by hitting the area with bone meal as if it were a flower? Aha! Well, I can. Wonderful. All right, so you can make more by just bone mealing them, which marvelous. Oh, I'm truly the happiest boy in the world. I have so much to do now. This is lovely. Oh, I'm gonna be able to put them by the river in the wheat field and in strategic locations in the wheat field. Oh, you guys, you don't even know. Well, I mean, you might know. Oh, this is wonderful. All right, so yeah, let's just grab some of these and then yeah. All right. Nothing like a simple little bone mealing because of course I have just like a lot of bones. I occasionally while traveling through the world, skeletons have donated their bones to me, which is, how nice of them, right? They don't make them like that anymore. Just a whole lot of skeletons that felt very strongly about returning their bones to someone who could use them in an organizational sense eventually. So, thanks all the skeletons. All right, yeah. So I did a video of the snapshot, which would have been of the snapshot of a previous snapshot of this one, but there were no firefly bushes. There was just cold pig and warm pig, and then wildflowers, which that will be the next thing to do, because we will still need them in spite of my desire to just carpet the whole universe. We found a dead leaf place. We could take a look at that. Now these are, look, it's great for ambiance, right? It looks great. It looks like a forest floor. It's cool. It's good. But do I want to pick them up and take them somewhere? Like, maybe only for very specific purposes, like if I was gonna like do like a wheel or block rather of seasons or something, then I can definitely, or like because you could have it like at the border of some biomes that you found. I could see a way for using them for something that was really cool, but just for my taste they're a little bland. The color doesn't pop. They're nothing compared to the beauty of the cherry blossoms or the wildflowers. But there's a bunch of birches over here. And so hopefully this will be a place for wildflowers. Yes, it is. All right, here we go. Fresh wildflower place. So we are just about to put a herding on these wildflowers because it'll be faster to hit them than to bone meal them, right? Can you bone meal one on the ground and create many more of them? Okay. Well, good news, guys. Now, I don't know if you can do this when it's on the ground in some other location, but we're going to test that out. Perfect. All right, yeah, so good news, guys. You can bone meal these, which I could have tested on the petals of cherry blossoms, but it never occurred to me to test it. But yeah, power of bone meal. Now, we already know that from a single block of moss and bone meal you can generate oak wood, right? We know that bone meal is powerful, but truly the blessings abound, right? That's nice stuff. All right, yeah, I just real quick, we just need to take it somewhere that doesn't have them already so that we can test out to make sure that it'll work, because I know that you can like if there's like a tulip thing in a biome, you can hit that block and make more tulips, but I don't know if just doing it to the item on top works. So we'll go over to this absolutely awesome looking place and try to find. Oh man, I love it so much. I wanna like look. This is so pretty. Let's look around. Yeah, they've just got this huge arch here. Why don't I keep the elytron? That way if I fall down, I'll be able to fly. Oh, and nice. They've even got a little magma thing. I just like that a lot. I love all the stuff like that in the game, though. Oh, and it even shows up there. Just arches and little floating islands, anything like that I've always just thought is so cool. But we're just gonna go over to this beach and attempt to meet a skeleton. Now it's almost a certainty that inside of my bag somewhere I have, more bone meal. But look, how sporting is it to look? All right, great. I found it. Go me. And we picked up the shulker box. I have to say that on purpose, out loud, to prevent another tragedy of the shulker. All right, so let's see if it works. Well, you can't. Okay, you can't put them onto stone. Important information. All right, yeah. So you bone meal it up, and then it generates more afterward, which means, well, now we don't need to worry about getting any more of those either. I guess we can try to head a little closer to home and try to meet a cold pig or warm pig. We need one of both, of course. I love this song. I use the YouTube audio library so much that I definitely recognize the repeats now. Like, let's fly over the dark forest. Was there one there? Maybe I saw wrong. Maybe that was a bit ago. Because we've got snow basically right by the house. We can, if we meet Cold Pig on the mountain, we can coax him into a minecart and shove him along the way, and it should even work, it should. I just fixed the roller coaster in a previous video, and if it currently is broken, I shall be very put out. Well, it's bad news for these guys, because as the saying goes, I have time today. All right, first things first. Let's get a flint and steel out. Or wait, no. Is there lava somewhere? Yes, we'll be even more stylish. We'll do this place like heroes. No more easy flint and steel. Only pure aggression. It seems stupid, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hey, some lava! How fortuitous. So here's the thing about pillagers. I actually have really strong opinions about them. Yeah, Sid, I didn't do much with the roller coaster. It was broken, I think. You ask if I'm gonna see the Minecraft movie. Look, on one hand, it's not right to judge a work of art that you haven't experienced, right? You could say, I don't want to watch it. I shouldn't, like, I want it to be good, for others' happiness. I don't think I'll go. I don't think I'll go. All right, so what we need to do real quick No, it's not a movie I want to. I feel, how to say this, like, I don't mind going to a movie by myself, but I wouldn't want to go to a movie that I anticipate to be of the quality that it is, without like a bunch of boisterous friends. Like, there's a famous movie. I hope I don't need to explain what it means for the broader culture. It's called Snakes on a Plane. It starred Samuel L. Jackson, and it came out like whenever I was in college. Now, Snakes on a Plane is a movie, but I went with a bunch of my friends, and it was magnificent. You know, like all of the things that made it a movie were superseded and made irrelevant by the joy of seeing it with my friends. You know, and does lava not burn wood? I guess I had to learn sometime. Oh no, there's a fire. It's just, you know, it's taking its sweet time. Okay, that's alright then. Hey, we get some armor templates. That's nice. Got some nice string. I'm just gonna put some trash in here. You know, we should probably... I mean, what? We don't need any of this stuff, right? I mean, the armor trim. That's a way of keeping score, after all. Speaking of, it doesn't look like these guys are, you know, keeping any prisoners or anything. That's how to do a devastating flyby. We just don't even bother killing them. We just burn their house down and fly away. Nah, I'm just playing, guys. You know we're about to go into this. Not even gonna kill him. Yeah, right. Get wrecked. Oh, look at this one. Oh, he's got a little hat on. Oh, that's fun. Oh, just a shocking amount of you in the water? That's smart. You totally won't be sad about this later when I kill all of you. Okay. That hit him, which is awesome, but this is dumb, right? We need to just get on land and then do what we could call the move of champions, right? We're just gonna do this, and then we'll have a nice little fire barrier here, and they're gonna have to deal with that. How's that? How's that grab you guys? Oh no, they've shot through and now their arrows are on fire. I didn't totally think this through, but it seemed like very metal, and like I'm like an evil fire wizard. I mean, rather, from their perspective, I'm clearly a very good fire wizard who is defending the land against these evil foes. Anyway, what a nice lava bucket. I'm just going to take that with me now. Anyway, I think we can all agree that they have learned their lesson, and they probably won't be doing that again. Hey, we're almost home. Yes, indeed. They did use my own trick against me. Alas, you know, they won't be around to brag about it, so at least there's that. We've got beautiful blue landscape, and then I'm like, this is a place I've been before. This is more than a place I've been before. This is, you know, this is home. Here atop this mountain range, it's a lovely place. We see some nice mountain goats. Now you may be thinking, what's the best mountain goat song? Well, you know, there are many schools of thought. I wrestle with that question a lot. There's one, it's called Picture of My Dress. It's super exceptional. I think he made it because he saw like somebody's internet comment, but it's a story-driven song from the perspective of a woman who's taking a road trip in a car by herself with her old wedding dress. By herself, you know, and each verse is her in a different place, and then she takes a picture of herself beside, you know, her wedding, like a picture of her dress while it's there, and it's a really good song. I like it a lot. There's like some lines about, you know, like cheesy Aerosmith songs and buying sandwiches at Burger King. It's really got it all. It's a great track. I think it was on Getting Into Knives was the name of the record, which came out, oh god, don't let me lie to you, but in the last like 5 or 6 years. It's modern era mountain goat stuff, right? It's not like ancient era. There's like instrumentation like it was recorded in a studio. It's not like boombox with the acoustic guitar era mountain goats. There's like percussion in it and stuff. But really strong track, maybe the best one. But yeah, so no, there were like levers missing and stuff. I think Enderman took them. I don't just say this just to say it. Like, I really do think the Enderman took them because nobody else would have had access, right? And I don't want to sound like a crazy person, but they've always had it out for me. I've seen them whooping around. I know what they're thinking when they look at me flying. Like this one right here, for example. I know what he wants. He wants me to punch him in the face with a sword. And it's gonna happen. Like, is he right now wondering if I have seen him? I have seen you. Fight me, coward! You have whooped your last. Oh, ender pearls. 4 of them? 4 of them? Is that even allowed? I guess sometimes you can get 4 of them. Good night, Renee. Alright, so we need to, first of all... Indeed. So, I'm like, the shadow in the ocean, it's actually kind of nice at that size, but... Alright, so the answer to all of the questions is... I mean, I think we need... Ow. It's not what I thought I was gonna do. Because fireflies in the sky are at least as cool as those that aren't. Oh my goodness, this is the best day of my life. Did they even buzz a little bit? They even buzz a little bit. It's like a permanent, wonderful, snowy thing. Oh yeah. So after we built this place down here and sort of got it, sorted out, and we built the mesa all the way around, like it's not, like not fully fleshed out, but sort of done. And then yeah, we did this one here. This has been like the bulk of what I've been working on here, but revitalized my interest as of late with the new update, but we'll get some really cold fireflies here. That'll please them. Yeah, so this was like the second of the islands. There's not, it's a very normal entryway here for these islands where I just, it's just like some random trash. And then, like, no, this is first island. Second island is up there, yeah. And then I made a little, moss thing with the hanging vines, and they've been growing. And we sort of, this was the first one, so it's like flat underneath, and we just sort of put some dripstone underneath it afterward. And this one was second, which, it's nice and snowy, and that's cool, and so is this one. And then this was the third one that we made, which on the inside, it's, we're growing some fun crops, and why? Literally, why not? And so that's what's going on in here, and but I wanna build further out here, and then You know, because I love artificial lush caves, but I want to build like a weird, safe axolotl habitat in the sky. So I feel really bad about the axolotl on my survival peaceful world. It might be ancient history for some, but I still feel bad. I've got an axolotl in a bucket, but I think we could make like a fun habitat for them up in the sky with some nice clay and, you know, periodic abilities to go and observe darkness. Like, did I run out of bones again? This is ridiculous. I'll have to go into the basement. The place where one keeps their bones. Alright, where are they? Yes. I'm like, I'm just like so sure that I have a large amount of bones. You're not gonna fool me into farming some more. It's not gonna happen. Not me, not this guy. Well, yeah, so this is like this is the animal parts one. You can tell because it's got the bone block there on the ground, and then the sponge thing to let you know that you won't find any sponges inside of it. This is just the sort of like important symbolism that you can rely on if you find yourself on one of my bases. Be like, well, this one has a sponge, so we should look in there for the bones, but not the sponges. They'll be in the chest that looks like it's for stone. Exactly, you know. Look, I'm not gonna have people coming into my base and being like Goldilocks and be like, someone's been rifling through my catalog. If you can't figure out why my books are where they are, that's a you thing. Anyway, let's beautify this place. Alright, so we're gonna get like a big wildflower thing going on here. And we can lay a few down, and then we're just gonna bone meal up a ton. And then we'll put them down. And then to save on postage, but now I'm thinking, I'm like, man, I should, I mean, I'm not gonna do it right now, but I'm like, I should just automate this, right? Because I could totally, like, have a dispenser, maybe? Might be able to get a bone meal that dispensed a thing out onto the block. And if you could do that, then yeah, then it would just pop up. That would be funny. Like, yes, this is my wildflower bone meal farm. Because I know you can, like, I've gotten, like, you can get bone meal out of things. I don't know for a fact you can bone meal it with the dispenser, but I feel like you could. There's so much I don't know. And everything I refuse to look up. But yeah, I would imagine I would just do it on, you know, the only thing I know how to make, the redstone clock. Because if you just alternate it with, like, a dispenser, you know, it goes on and off, like throwing out a chicken egg. Speaking of, I really should make one of those in this world. And now we begin the important work of trying to largely miss the grasses on the ground. Because we still want to keep some, right? Because the key for this is to have just like an extraordinarily large amount of them, right? I didn't get nearly enough bone meal. Because no matter how haphazard and strange, if it's a big enough mass of the flowers, to the casual observer, and are we not all a casual observer? I'm surely not a professional observer. To a casual observer, it will appear to be, you know, if not intentional, then, you know, at least imagined. All right, we're gonna need way more bones than that. Those bones are rookie numbers. Why do I have this trash on me? Oh, skeletons probably. We're gonna fly because walking is for plebeians. Can I burn leather boots? I don't know. Let's not even put it in there. I could clog it. Ryan, you say I should die in game. Well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man. Bad Omen 5 bottle, but we're not going to drink that. Let's instead put it into this chest and remember it some other time. Or not. Alright, dirt, that's good. Ryan, you asked what I do outside of gaming? Well, I work full-time. I'm a cook. And, what I do in my free time besides gaming? I mean, I read books. I read lots and lots of books. And, you know, I watch Star Trek reruns of my favorite Star Trek show, Deep Space Nine. That's what I've been watching recently. That one came out when I was a kid. It's that key cover and popping on your feet. It's all you think about is my mustache and what I actually do. Yeah, you know, by woman, I'm single. My friends, I mean, they're off doing their things, you know. I'm in my late 30s. My friends are off like being married and like taking care of their kids and stuff, doing all the things that I absolutely don't want to do with my time, like sharing it with other people. And so I'm playing some video games. When you get old, all the people that you know are like doing adult stuff, and if you don't want to do that, then you know, do whatever you want to do instead. That's what I'm doing here. But yeah, I mean, this is basically all I ever wanted to do. Like growing up, all I ever wanted to do was play video games, so I'm glad that I got that. For sure. Well, I mean, like I've been in like long-term relationships and stuff before. It's not like I've never dated. I've lived with women for years, you know, like I've had you know, I've had plenty of my taste of living the way that people say that I'm supposed to, and it doesn't suit me particularly well. People people often want me to be different than I am, and and that's not it's not really how it works out. No, I often found whenever I had a girlfriend that what I wanted to do was not all of the adult stuff that I found tedious and demanding on my time. That what I wanted to do was, you know, mess around and play video games. And you know, the women I was seeing rightfully identified that sometimes. And no, it's not why we broke up. I used to drink heavily, you know, but no, I haven't dated anybody since I quit drinking, and I don't intend to. Um, Interpersonal relationships are fine for some people, but they are not fine for me. I don't get out of it what other people do, and they only find me frustrating. It's important to know who you are. What was I doing? Bones! There's like so many bones. We probably got them somewhere else too. I'm like, yeah, there's got to be extraneous bones. The name of this metal album is Extraneous Bones. Yeah, we got plenty of bones there. Yeah, you say you got a wife and kids and stuff. Yeah, and that's totally a way to do things. Absolutely, the culturally appropriate way to do things. I like, Stoicism and Buddhism and stuff, and to me it seems that can't exactly try to reach enlightenment if I'm responsible for other people. Because the things that I might need to do for my own, like, aesthetic and artistic enjoyment of life might conflict with other people's. And in that event, I don't want to share my life with anybody else. Like, there is nothing in compromise that I find attractive. I find it demeaning and humiliating to subsume your will to that of another. I have always found that people don't like my idea of a simple life, which is just trying to live like a peasant of old. Because from my perspective, like, bread is incredibly cheap. Do you know, like, just off the top of your head? Probably not. It's a rude question, but do you know how much, like, a loaf of bread cost, like, a percentage of a day's wages before the French Revolution? It's something like 80% of a day's wages. And I could buy a loaf of bread for $1. I try not to lose sight of how incredibly blessed I am to live in a very wealthy place and to live with a considerable amount of security. I myself am not a wealthy man, but I benefit from living in the richest and most powerful country on the planet, and that allows me a lot of freedom and security to just live this sort of simple life, being a cook and pursuing my interests. And I do definitely acknowledge that perhaps if I were in a place where survival was much more difficult to assure, then I would be more motivated to try to secure property and that kind of thing. But I don't. I strive to not, and I don't say I don't have the desires that other people have. I strive to not indulge the desires that other people have for consumerism and possession and stuff. Now, I say that while I'm on this very expensive and awesome computer because I'm like a huge hypocrite, right? I should have led off with that. But I try to stay somewhat limited with it, to try to be content with what I have. And the best way for me to do that is to experience life through the lens of the appreciation of art and beauty. You say I'm actually content living life playing video games till I die? Yeah, dude. Yeah. Look, the only stuff that gets me down is like that I have to go to work, and like like how afraid I am of dying whenever I have to be on the road somewhere. But like, because I went through a really long time. So, I'm in my late 30s. I went through a long time where just existing at all was super tough on me. And even being able to play video games may not have felt good enough for me then. So like what you're seeing now is like the happiest I've ever been, the best my life has ever been. But yeah, everybody's different, some people always want more. I don't want to be dismissive of desire. Like I say, like you'll hear me talk about Buddhism a lot, especially when we're talking about like what we want out of life and desires and stuff, because existence is the source of suffering, and desire is the way that we experience suffering. So it makes sense for everyone's desires to be different, and the management of those desires to be different, because everyone's existence is different and not really generalizable in certain ways. We'll see. Yeah, would actually be. See, that's an interesting question, and what you're talking about is essentially the core of philosophical inquiry, which is why I don't mind these questions at all. I actually think people should ask questions like, "Are you happy?" and "Do you like this?" more often, and that it's sad that it's considered rude to do so. Not that I consider this rude. Sorry, that came out weird, but like, like I couldn't say it to like one of my friends, cousins at a table, if I've been invited to a barbecue or something. But yeah, that's one of the cores of philosophical inquiry at all, is what is happiness? What does it mean to live a good life, and how do we know that that is truly a good life? These are what I would call core philosophical 101 questions. Stuff like, the nature of good and evil, and, like, what is good, what is bad, what does it mean to, have a nature, what is existence? I think, like, what does it mean to be happy is absolutely bedrock, like those questions. And I would say the thing that I always say, which is that my objective in life is not to be happy. So it's sort of like, am I happy? I mean, relatively to any time that I'd been alive in the past, this is the best my life has ever been. I feel relatively fine most of the time, and I don't have any emergencies. My hands got fixed a couple years ago. My health is okay. I try not to talk about current events too much. The world's not a great place. It's not, and that weighs heavily on me. And I do worry that the current levels of comfort that I have won't always be here. And that's another reason why I want to be cheerful about living my life this way now, because I think there's a question that often gets asked to like older-ish people, like, what would a younger version of you say if they could see your life now, like, would they get it? Would they be proud? Would they be confused? Would they be disappointed? And like this last year of me just, playing video games online and talking to myself and talking with you guys, like, this is the first time I've ever been able to look at that question and be like, yeah, little kid me would be totally amped. He would be like, kind of sucks that you have to work for a living, but you have 500 video games and you can play them all you want, and people watch you play them sometimes and talk to you. Like, it's all I ever wanted, man. Like, I wasn't a happy kid. I'm not going to get into it. I don't intend to. But I wasn't a particularly happy kid. There was a lot of stuff just about being a child in general that grated on me. I consider myself much smarter than the other children were, and that led to a lot of issues. I didn't I didn't have a great time growing up, but I did have the conviction that, like, if people would just leave me alone and let me work hard and let me play video games all day long, that would be fine and that it would be awesome. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped pursuing that. I stopped I stopped doing the thing that I had always known I would love to do, which is sit around and play video games all day long. And I went outside and I went hiking and I, swam in the ocean and I chased after women and I fell in love. And all of that served to get in the way of what was actually going to make me happy, which was sitting around and playing video games all day long, because I was doing what other people told me I needed to do. I was listening to them as if they knew more about what made me feel good than I did, just because they had always told me I was wrong. And so yeah, I would say that I am fine doing this until I die, and I'm certainly not waiting for some person to come up and change my life. If I could maintain good health and basically live every single day the same way that I do, just playing a new video game whenever I get bored of the one that I have, yeah, man, I'd be happy forever. That's the dream. That's all I've ever wanted. A good question. Glad you asked it. Thank you. Some people might perceive that as your line of inquiry, rather. They might perceive it as being a bit like, too forward in your questioning, but I didn't look at it that way at all. I think it was a very nice question to get, and gave me an opportunity to talk about a lot of stuff that I like talking about. Say no to desire for significant other? Oh, I wouldn't say that. I mean, like I said, like I've been in relationships, I've been in love before. It doesn't work particularly well for me. There's Aristophanes wrote a play. I'm getting distracted. Aristophanes is a playwright in Athens, once upon a time, classical Greece. And in Plato's work Symposium, it's like a drinking party, and these various figures are talking there about various things, and that's where we get like the literary concept of a soulmate from. So he starts talking about how like people were made with 4 arms and 4 legs and so on, and then split into halves, and we always go through existence trying to find our other half, the person that completes us, that brings our being back into focus. So this is like, again, when I say like very bedrock stuff, like this is straight out of like the foundations of Western philosophy, which is why I enjoy these questions very much, because they are things that I have thought about ever since I was a kid, and that I have done quite a bit of thinking about. But I think, I don't think that's true at all, right? I think that we're already complete. I think as a poetic device, it's very nice. Yeah. You say you wish you could have that mindset? No, nonsense, not at all. After all, this is my mindset that works for me. It's good that you have your mindset for your life, because it is applicable to your own standards and values. Like, if I was somebody who, like, hadn't been obsessed with Marcus Aurelius for a while, and that didn't read a bunch of, all of the books that I read whenever I was a little kid, I probably wouldn't have ended up as I am now. Because I have always found a certain comfort in the brilliance of the writers of the past. More bones. Especially whenever I have the same questions that they have, you know, like what is the nature of this project of existence, you know, what best is the way to live within it. So this is a thing that I have quoted on the channel before, but this is like my favorite meditation of Marcus Aurelius, and the one that applies to this conversation most. Chapter and verse it at you because I know it. It's book 10, number 29. This is the Hayes translation of it, and it goes, "Stop whatever you are doing for a moment and ask yourself, am I afraid of death because I won't be able to do this anymore?" And I really like that. I think it's excellent. And, you know, Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome, but the great thing about the meditations of Marcus Aurelius is that it was never intended for other people to read, so we really get a good glimpse inside of his head. And it's really interesting to see him, you know, struggle with these things in a personal way and not like in a propagandistic way. You know, when you read Julius Caesar's book, which is wonderful and well done, you're aware that you're reading a work of propaganda by a political figure. But Marcus Aurelius's book, as it was never intended to be found at all by anybody, let alone survive for, you know, 1800 years, it's sort of a much more pure read, in my opinion. Because the thing about purpose is that I want to be careful about how I phrase this. The thing about purpose is that even an illusion can be a purpose. Even working towards something that's impossible can be a purpose. I think of, say, like the Arthurian legends. If you go out to slay a dragon and the dragon isn't there, but you go out with the purpose of slaying the dragon, you organize your life around the idea that there is a thing called a dragon out there, that you are going to fight it, and you could die in the attempt or come out victorious. And maybe you die of something else. Maybe you get bitten by a mosquito and get malaria. You see a firefly bush, you stay there too long, and you get malaria. So this happens. You're a knight, you went out to slay a dragon, and you die in a swamp somewhere. This prevents people from asking you silly questions in internet chat rooms, but it's not a perfect ending. But everybody that knows you just knows that you went out gallantly to slay a dragon that was ravaging the countryside. And then they know that was your purpose. They know that you don't come back and that the dragon stops being a problem. So how do we analyze that knight's life? Because once he's dead, the way that he thought about himself is only sort of like tangentially a useful way to think about him at all. He's not around anymore. He would be defined by people that knew about his quest by his purpose, even though it was based on falsity, even though it was, from the face of it, ridiculous because dragons aren't real. But people die all the time over things that are foolish. So how are we gauging whether or not a purpose is legitimate, right? Is it due to other people in your society telling you that it's a problem? Well, the people in this night society told him there was a dragon. And that had him going through a swamp, and now he's dead and there's not a dragon, but now they're praising him for killing a dragon. Because a lot of people's deaths, public figures, private figures, I don't want to get too bleak and dark, but like, whenever a person dies, their memory doesn't belong to them, it belongs to all the people that loved them or knew about them. There's a lot of stories, you go to a funeral and people just say a bunch of wild stuff about the departed that wasn't true. Well, what do they care, right? They can make him sound like a nice guy, even if it's not so. No one's gonna stand up and object. Because really, people won't be thinking about whether or not that dude was a jerk or not. They'll be thinking about, how did he live his life? There'll be a little slideshow. And if he was married, he'll show his wife, and if he killed a dragon, they'll show a picture of a dragon. But I think you can only judge people happy by how they pursue their purpose, by how they look upon their end. Because this knight that dies from the malarial mosquito bite, he doesn't know that he's not going to get the dragon. He might think, I fought the good fight. I tried to get there. I was going to get there, and I couldn't do it, but at least I tried. There's this amazing excerpt from a speech. I mean, it's a whole speech, but an excerpt from a speech by Teddy Roosevelt where he talks about, like, how people looking from the sidelines, looking in, are meaningless. And it's the man in the arena who matters, that it's his blood that's on the line, and that winning and losing is so much better than not competing at all. And so, if you want to get a house and land and you want to fall in love, then pursue that purpose, and that'll be what you organize your life around. And if you want to kill a dragon, then try to kill a dragon. Just, try not to hurt anybody while you're out there and pursuing your purpose, and people will say nice stuff about you when you're gone. They might say it anyway because it's like a cultural convention to do so, but they'll be happy to tell the truth if you ended up doing, what you wanted to do cheerfully. If something had happened to me 10 years ago and I wasn't here to make videos for you now, the things people would have said about me would have been tinged with a lot more sadness than if something happened tomorrow and I was struck by a bolt of lightning. Because they would have been able to point definitively to a time in my life and said, he was doing what he loved. That man played so many video games, he talked to himself, he ate fudge rounds, he ate like a whole can of Pringles on March 27th. It was delicious, and he would do it all over again if he were here today. And I think that I have a lot to be happy about, because that's all true, as far as I'm concerned, I made it. Count Monte Cristo. Oh, amazing book. Wonderful book. You wish I would have answered how I stopped drinking? Well, it's not good advice. What works for me is unlikely to work for other people. And I stopped drinking 8 years, 3 months, and 27 days ago, and this morning. And I should have quit it like just so much longer before then. So it was never 100% if I was gonna, end up being able to make videos for the internet back whenever I was doing that all the time. Life's a series of choices, and some of them are way more important than the other ones. Lots of the times it's not like shooting an end crystal on day 334 in your Minecraft world. Sometimes the stakes are much higher than all of that. And, you know, if and when you find yourself in those situations, I hope you'll make the right choice. I think you'll find that you probably already know within yourself what you need to do and what's right. Most people do, especially if they're asking what they should do. What I usually tell people is probably the thing you already know. But yeah, seek community. It's good. Community, mental health services, friends and family. The stuff that works for me doesn't work for other people, and they're not best practices. I am not a normal guy. I know that I present as a totally ordinary person, but actually, most people think that I am rather strange. And although some don't say so to my face, many people do tell me so. So I try not to generalize my experiences to other people. But I mean, like, it sounds kind of boring, but yeah, just all the best practices stuff. You know, there's a lot of resources out there for people that want to improve their lives, but there's a lot of personal hang-ups that can go into it. And there's this band called the Avett Brothers that I like a lot. They have a song. They have a lot of songs. They're a band, but the line in it is "Decide what to be and go be it." I was talking to a friend at work some time ago, and they were expressing, you know, ambivalence about how their future was going to go, you know, how things were going to be, how they were going to make their way through the world. And I somewhat cruelly told them, you know, if you don't like your life, it's your fault. Like, we get to pick the things that we do. It's not nice to say. It might not even be true. I just thought it would be useful in that situation. And I always want people to be harsh when they give me advice instead of nice. But if you sit around all day and play video games and you don't feel good at the end, then don't do that, man. It sounds a little reductive, but I don't mean it in like a rude way. But yeah, like, You've probably heard me say this before. I say it a bunch, but I'll say it again. You're the only one who has to be you. And when you're younger, sometimes you have to be yourself in a way that doesn't feel authentic because other people demand it of you. And sometimes, depending on where you live, and your social standing and your access to capital and resources, sometimes a person doesn't have the opportunity to pursue the way that they want to live their life too. And that's very sad. But I would say if you can do the stuff you want to do and you feel good at the end of it, just do that. Don't, like I say, it sounds a little reductive, but don't do what doesn't feel good. Don't eat food that hurts your stomach at the end, you know, unless you want that. Don't chase a car you don't want to catch. And try not to be too afraid of failing if you're sure that it's the purpose that you would want people to define you by. Like me, I'm a bad poet and I love video games. This has been true about me since I was a teenager. My life, my pursuit of Minecraft beauty is aligned with that. Like, me sitting here and talking about Dante's Fireflies and Mountain Goat songs while I mess around on a video game and talk about philosophy. This is literally my dream, man. Like this is the best night of my life. Oh, Sid, you know I was only joking. I said I ate a whole thing of Pringles earlier. Like I mentioned earlier, and I should bring up again, I'm a huge hypocrite. You shouldn't you shouldn't be looking at me for the don't eat too much junk food guy. Like I'm gonna go eat a fudge round in like 30 minutes and nobody can stop me. Not you, not that skull on the wall right there. None of yous. There really is a skull on the wall. I'd pick up the camera and move it to it, but how would I get the camera back? Too risky. Too risky. It's a cow skull. You know, not anything cool. No, I like it. It's a family heirloom. I would have spoken of it before, although it is possible that you were not here for it. All right, man. Did I just run out of bones? What a terrible tragedy. I mean, it can't be true, right? Because I bet if we just, like, put down some shulkers. Yeah, there we go. More bones. Amazing. Alright, no bones in there. Soul torches are nice. One of my friends on their world that I visited once, they had like a medieval sort of themed like dark oak village, and they had like soul lanterns, I think, was how they had it lit. So it was like this nice like soft blue light with the dark oak, and it was really awesome looking. Alright, and now since we have even more bones, man, we are gonna like straight run out of bones here. But it's all for beauty, right? Yeah, it was a creative world that she and a couple of my other friends had. And I haven't like been there while they were there. I just like I popped in one day when they weren't around. But yeah, it was super cool. One of my friends, she made like a whole village that was like very like cherry wood and just cherry trees, like a whole bunch of cherry and like sort of like Japanese architecture theme. It was very nice. There's a mountain that was totally like covered in like blue flowers, and then there was like an inside of it that was all blue as well. It was like an Eiffel 65 song. It was very cool, very nice. They had like a mushroomy place that looked like sort of like bioluminescent nether mushroom place, and they had like stuff going on there, and then they had made like an amusement park. It was super cool. I don't know how long they were all on it. It might have been like since they were like teenagers. But it was a super excellent world, and I was just like, man, every single one of you is a million times better at building boxes than I am. But I think we actually, even though, yeah, so this will be fine. No? Okay, yeah, we can just hit random, not... So you hit grass, then it makes it one taller, but if we just go around in the middle here, we can get a little bit of wildflowers, a little bit of natural plant growth, which is, that's what you want. You want the wildflowers to appear to not be too unnatural, and this is going to be excellent. This is going to be so good, and it will have the various, wildflower types of the area, the cornflowers and the dandelions and such popping up through them. Oh, this is gonna look so good. This actually might almost look like it's supposed to be here. I mean, sure, like a savvy observer would know that these only occur in forests, but to somebody else it might look like I did something right. Oh, it's gonna be good. Alright, we gotta... I'm super pumped about this update, actually. Bunch of stuff to do. And it's all, like, easy to scale. All I gotta do is find 10,000 more bones. I probably said something dumb in an earlier video. I probably said something like, I don't even need bones. I'm just gonna hold on to them in case I need them someday. And now look at me. But at least I didn't, like, throw away stacks of bones. At least I don't think so. Oh, I sure hope I didn't. Oh, that would be a real shame. All right. Did our other turtle get born yet? Probably not. I think you need to be, like, kind of close. Ow. Still a tiny amount of cracks, but hey. I've got a turtle here somewhere. I even think that's true. But maybe I just have the one thing. No, I thought we had one. Alright, so we come in. Oh, it's perfect! Oh, it's perfect! So it looks like it's right there after the wind would have swept over here, and we have like the much denser, like bright whites and yellows here from the native flowers at the top of this meadow, and then it goes down into, oh, it's so, yes, I finally did something that looks good. I put flower petals on the ground, guys. Yay, go me. Huzzah. I mean, the lines of flowers up here are fine, but that actually looks like, you know, when you come in at it, sure, it needs to be, you know, larger. But yeah, I mean, like, I could cover the whole biome in that. I mean, I can't. I don't have enough bones. But this is great. This is really cool. Not least that it's like right there coming down the side of the mountain that we come down to see, you know, the people each morning. So we'll just be like, gazing around in the terrain, and then yeah, we need more for that side too. I mean, clearly. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do now. Not like right now, but now in this world, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do. All right, so all of that obscures what we need to do, which is search for no, just go to owl. Go to this and search for carrot on a stick. A fishing rod, outrageous. Sticks and string. Well, fortunately, I throw away all the string I ever get. But even more fortunately, it's about to be night. No, it's absolutely in one of these chests. And I know it is because, like, we just got, like, the most random trash in the world here. Alright, what else do we need? A saddle? Yes, very clearly we will also need a saddle. And I'm, like, pretty sure I have a saddle somewhere, right? Yeah! I knew I had one. I mean, no is doing a lot of work in that sentence, but I knew I had one. Oh, there's a fishing rod in there, too. Worked out perfectly! Well, it is nighttime. We should say goodbye, or rather good night, to a couple of the pals. Oh, hello, Moosha Smalls, baby Moosh. Ah, look at him, so happy down here. Ah, the family is all together again. But of course, we have to go and get Cold Pig and Warm Pig soon. And then Doug. Oh, good old Doug. Doug's the hardest worker. Doug gave us another pitcher pod. Good old Doug. Doug the Great, they'll call him. Doug the Amazing. Doug the Pure. Doug the Tower. Dig Doug. Oh, we need torches over there. Doug Ultimate. Doug Forever. Doug and Ball Z. You get all the Dragon Balls together and it's just Doug. Alright. That is a lot of skellies. Now, this is important, right? Because a little known fact about skeletons is that they are composed of bones, which I have recently developed a covetous desire for. Give me your bones, skeleton. Never fear, I am not afraid. My armor is too good. Oh no, not my beloveds. There's a creeper there trying to make me ruin my sunflowers, but I won't be fooled. I've suffered like this before already. Now with a couple cunningly placed third-person arrows, the creeper will fall. Oh yeah, well I mean, the thing about hard, about hardcore is once you get Prot 16 Diamond, you don't take damage. Like 80% damage reduction is just so much. But yeah, every time I'm like, man, what happened to me? Why am I getting hurt? It's always because I'm wearing the elytra and I'm in first person, so I don't notice my adorable little cape. What was I doing? Looking for a cold pig. Like, but even more than that was I doing. We were gonna say hello to the boss. Okay. I got myself stuck inside the moat. Not the moat. The wall. The moat is the other part. You can have a dry moat. You can have a dry moat. It's allowed. But the gang's all here. Good old Garuda. Perfect Belladonna. Magnificent Luca. Can we see our firefly bushes from the window? Yes. We can't see the rest of what we did, but Because I need to now, like... So what do we do, right? Do we make, like, a... Oh, Bella. Get back inside where you're safe. Why am I such an irresponsible pet owner? Yes, Bella. Yes, you. Who's a good consigliere? You stay there. You eat this, boss. I'll be back. Alright. Now, one more time with feeling. Responsible crime family management. If I'm in third person, I can see it sort of soon. If not, you know, it's harder. Alright. Did I not bring a bed with me? Ridiculous behaviors. If you hit into the bed, you bounce, but you don't want to do it too much. Oh my goodness, I'm just now realizing. If you don't take fall damage when you go onto them, do you not? I should have a big old bed landing pad somewhere. I should have like, I should have a wall of honey to crash into if I don't get hurt. Here, we're doing the important work of mining with an axe. I swear it's actually important. Idle goes to 7. It's important because I don't have fortune on the diamond toe. I never bothered with it, but it's still a functional enchantment for anything that it hits. Do I even have inventory space to be doing this? No, not technically. Damage is reduced, but not entirely. I would just need enough to where I could fly into it at full speed within Elytra and not die. Probably not ideal to test that here, and I'm not going to. It would be funny, but like in the bad kind of way. Alright, speaking of Elytra, let us run into this area of pigs with a carrot in either hand. And then we will eat one in front of the pigs to assert dominance. That song had a guy say samurai sword on my back, which is like awesome, but songs with lyrics are not really what we do here, buddy. Alright, and we're mended up. Marvelous. And that bow's bad, and that bow's bad. Alright, so now we just need to go to a mountain and see if there's a cold pig there. And I would imagine shuffle off some other animals that are not cold pigs. But I don't know if they spawn on mountains. I know pigs do. We can just fly around. I don't want to go too far. I guess we could go... Well, first of all, cold pig, probably better than warm pig, right? But we got to get both of them. But anywhere on the canal is entirely acceptable because we know definitively, right, that the canal is a 100% functional and 100% safe way to transport now. That pathetic, ridiculous, temperate pig makes a mockery of this whole enterprise. I never wish to see your kind again upon this mountain, sir. Well, do you think about the heavy guest? I love it. I think it's super adorable. I saw like a still of one with little goggles on, and it was just the most adorable thing I thought I'd ever seen. I want to get one and call him Cornelius Vandergast, and he'll be like, you know, a member of the Gast nobility that's been displaced, and we'll get into adventures and build rail lines and stuff. Like normally I'm not super into like sort of, you know, what I would call pun names, although that's not exactly one, but you know, just small variant names. Not for like, I mean, they're fine, you know, as like jokes, but I wouldn't normally give one to an animal in a video game. But there, like, it just popped in my head as soon as I saw the picture. I'm like, oh, that's funny, because you know he looks so like dignified, you know, like an explorer would if they were like in a hot air balloon. Only he was the hot air balloon, and I just thought that would be a good name for him if I ever get one. No, I intend to. I don't actually know how. I didn't look it up, so I gotta look it up. And by do that, I mean not look it up and go exploring and try to find one anyway. Whoa, boy. Coming in hot beside the mountain there. So is our problem here that there's too many living things? That's going to sound real strange, so let me expound. You know, that are already on the map that are not Cold Pig. Well, the only way to find out is by hitting all the animals that are not this horse with a stick attached to a sword. Because I'm not gonna murk this horse. This rabbit, I mean, yeah, sure, the rabbit. It might be the only bunny I have ever killed in this game. You don't see him very often, do you? Let's check the statistics. Oh, I have killed 2 rabbit. Oh, it's not in it yet. That makes sense. Oh yeah, because that was in the preview with like all the other stuff, and this happens to also be out now. Yeah, because that's right. It was like native shaders and stuff too, but for Bedrock, which I mean, I play on Java. I could just find and download shaders, but there's nothing special about a temperate pig or a white sheep. Get out of here. Make way for Cold Pig. So the Decemberist song that's sponsoring this portion of the video is called Shank Hill Butchers. It's a good one. I just like how we're flying around like this berserk avenging angel, trying to make way for the resurrection of Cold Pig. Where is Cold Pig? Where have you taken him? So I gotta go like 5,000 miles away to catch Cold Pig. I will. Y'all know that I am not deterred. I'll build another canal. I'll do whatever I have to do. I don't want to build another canal. I'll use the old canal. That's how strongly I feel about it. I'll use a bit of infrastructure I already built. Yeah, that'll really show someone. Oh. I had a carrot and not a totem in my offhand. I mean, that's fine. I didn't die, but, you know, if I had died and I noticed that I had been carrying a carrot and I died for real from that, I mean, I would laugh. We would all laugh. That'd be very funny. But it would also, like I flew into a wall for my first elytra death with a carrot in my hand because it was orangish. Hello, friend. Y'all know, it's actually kind of funny, but we don't have a dog in this world. Hello, friend. Let's travel together. Yeah, I might have like gotten something to like set them down whenever I was trying for the achievements, but yeah, because we had calcite that we found in the that like appeared in the geode underground in the ocean. That was in the last world with the crime family. Yeah, no, we don't have any dogs here, but we do now. Come on, buddy, let's go home. This one's name? Oh, I figured it'd be Calcite again. You know, there's no reason to deny Calcite his reincarnation, not whenever, you know, he had done so well in the previous thing. It just took us a while to find him is all. We didn't find him in the exact same circumstances. Calcite, get in here. Yes. You... But if we get another dog, that'll be Ajax, because that's what I always name dogs. All right, so in conclusion, we could not convince him to get into this. Come on. Get into it. Come on, buddy. Come on now. Yes. Anyway, he's not getting into the box. Alright, I'm like, man, do we want to, like, fight through all this? I mean, yeah. He's a brave dog. Anyway, there's some skeletons here. They're made out of bones. We need bones. Yeah, I guess, you know, in the middle of the night, it may not be an entirely free train track. I tell you what, Calcite, we'll just run in the direction of this big light in the sky, and probably nothing bad will happen to us. Probably. Why are all of those zombies even looking at me? I don't even know you guys. Why are you so obsessed with me? Oh no! Stop jumping in front of my arrows. That's so bad. Oh no. I fear that we're leading into tragedy here. Alright, we're gonna... Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, that's right. We can feed him meat to make him stronger. She did indeed. And so does Regina George in the hit comedy Mean Girls, if memory serves. I don't think she says it in the stage adaptation. She might. I don't remember. I don't know all the words. I did go see it though. Speaking of stage adaptations, 1 month until I go and see Hadestown. I am so excited. It's gonna be awesome. Every bit as awesome as finding fireflies and stuff. Very, very pumped about it. Hadestown's a super good play, not controversial. It won like the Tonys and everything. You know, it was the big splash, but you know, it's not every day they do a play about Greek mythology. Not every day. You're gonna see it, but you saw 6 instead. I saw 6 last year and a half ago, maybe. It was wonderful, just a great time. But no, there's this Tiny Desk concert, NPR's Tiny Desk. I don't know if you're familiar. If you're not, it's wonderful. They like do like stripped down sets like in a room of things, but they brought like the cast of the play there, and I had like not heard anything about it. And then I was like, oh, this is the best thing of ever. But no, 6 actually did a Tiny Desk as well, although I had heard of it from, like, you know, I think I read a review in the New York Times or whatever. But 6 was wonderful. The Tiny Desk for it is so good. The performer, I don't remember her name, that does Heart of Stone there, did a particularly wonderful iteration of it. A great song. And great performance of it, but... Yeah, did you like 6? I thought it was just so good. Alright, Calcite's home. Let's find an anvil. You say you love musicals, you just wish they weren't so expensive. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, 6 was a lot of fun. Because, as you know, like, I'm super into history. I'm not, like, obsessed with the Tudors or anything. And in fact, like, I would say, like, that specific era of the British monarchy is not one that I'm really that interested in at all, except for, like, you know, it's important and stuff, but, like, some people are, like, really into it, and that's not one of my areas of focus. But I still had, like, enough familiarity with everything that it was a lot of fun. Like, when they have Catherine of Aragon just, like, going off about the monastery's dissolution and that kind of stuff, like, I totally get that. Like, they didn't have to explain to me why those jokes were funny. I was just thrilled, you know, like... Protestant Reformation humor, absolutely my jam. That hits me. That's the sort of stuff that I get pretty well. But they did a really wonderful play, a great premise for 6, and then just awesome execution of it as well. To be explicit, like in theme in that way, and be like, no, like it sucks that we're centering, you know, all of this. We need to... How do we... Do I do like a diamond? No, I just name it and then it works with it. Okay. Like, it's been a while since I've done this. But yes, I'll definitely talk about Hades Town after I see it. I am very excited. I've seen bootlegs of it and stuff. Unless you're the government, in which case, no, I didn't. I was only joking. But as you know, there's no replacement for live theater. Certainly not unlike a scratchy little theoretically existing camera. This is a nice little song, but yeah. Well, we didn't find Cold Pig for this video, but we did get our Fireflies and all sorts of other wonderful stuff. And of course, that means we're coming on the end of the video. And as we're about to bestow the name tag about Calcite, I welcome all of you to sit, kneel, or stand for the national anthem, Creator by Lena Rain. Calcite's name day! He has returned to us. Hey, Ashes. I went too far away. No. Yeah, we got our little firefly bushes. We've got our wildflower field, which, again, looks awesome. It looks so good. This song's so fun. I love how it takes off here. It's just like, it's such a tasteful little, tasty lick. Luca knows. That's right, we could put actual lanterns up. Wouldn't that be a sight? Soul lanterns, that's what we could do. We could whip the point of view around repeatedly, changing what ear the stereo goes into. That would be good. Sure glad I'm in here safe, where nothing bad can happen to my shulkers. There we go. Do I have iron? No, apparently not. That's got to be somewhere. Well, you know, I'll deal with that some other day. No, I have broken my house. I will not deal with that another day. I will solve this right now. I will not. I will. Oh, I broke the ender chest, so I gotta make another one. That's funny. Anyway, I forgot to use the silk touch pick. That'll be all right. You know, it really, it just looks so good. It, you know, we probably need, no, it's like I didn't want cherry trees here. The blossoms there on the side, I mean, they'd be better if they were flat. No, they're fine. I'm not worried about it. They're okay. It's not ideal, but neither am I an aesthetic mastermind. In fact, rather the opposite. I mean, who could forget when it took me 100 days to build a house? Or more. Alright, why can't I do this? Oh, because I left him in some other thing. Why am I the way I am? Alright, let's do all that over again. No, did I put him upstairs or something? What? Oh, my skin feels hot. All right, how do I make more of these? I'll just learn how to make more of them. How do I make more? Oh, good news. Yeah, there we go. No, what am I doing? Oh man, this is stressing me out. I'm playing the game wrong. All right, there we go. Oh. Sometimes whenever I make a mistake in a game, I feel like I can't breathe. No, it's just like my whole life. It's not because of games. Yeah, it's nice because they sit really well with like the contrast with the dark oak, and then of course like with the blue sky, you've got like the glass elements there with the clouds like through the glass panes. I feel like it works very nicely, and then of course with the sea lanterns for the entrance, like it very much like sort of echoes that, but from the other density there. So, yep. Big shout out to my friend for figuring that out, and then for me for copying it. Oh yeah, good stuff. Good job, me, for copying people with good ideas. Nothing like it. But, all right, I think, yeah, that's all. Yeah, I think that's all we'll do for this video today, though. I'm gonna take a little time myself. I might play a bit of Skyrim here in an hour or something. But thanks, guys. Bye, Sid and Ashes. Ryan, I think you're already gone, but so good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out, Sid. Glad to show you everything. We'll take a quick spin around the new additions before we go. Yeah, we need, when we're really close above it, you can sort of see that it needs a little more density in a couple spots, but especially from any like side view like this, I mean that's flawless, right? Like you can't tell a single thing is wrong with that field. It in fact, I think, looks, dare I say, natural. But let's go look at a thing that doesn't look natural at all, and that's my massive amount of firefly plants here. I am now seeing that a field of firefly plants might be, you know, superior to a field of wheat, but, you know, who knows what my world might be changed into by the future. Yeah. But yes, it's gonna be nice. We'll be able to fly through the night sky and experience all sorts of lovely things. But yep, that's all I got for you today. We will take a more active approach toward acquiring cold pig and warm pig for the family in the next video. But that will do it. Oh yeah, dressing the place up, looking so good. More seeds for Garuda, more head pats for Bella. Calcite has returned to us. He's a happy dog. We'll feed him another pork chop. That'll please him. All right, that's all I've got for you. See you guys later. Perhaps I'll see you in another stream or video. Thank you.